Wait a minute. There's a breed of rhino that has fangs? Hello, my name is Jeff and you are watching LaughPack. Now, the word rhinoceros is a combination of two Greek words. Rhino, meaning nose, and ceros, meaning horn. Now, of course, a rhino's horn is its pride and joy. But that isn't all there is to these amazing animals. Now, before we go into any more details on these massive creatures, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. For every subscribe we get, a rhino will get a balloon for National Rhino Day, which is on September 22nd. And just so happens to be a couple days from when this episode drops. So why don't you make a rhino happy and hit subscribe to help them celebrate their special day. Now, let's get started. Number 1, species. There are 5 living species of rhino. The white, the black, the Sumatran, the Javan, and the greater one-horned rhino. Now, the one thing that is confusing about these names is that the white rhino isn't white, and the black rhino isn't black. The white rhino's name is taken from the Afrikaans word, pronounced either wid or wide, which means wide, which is actually describing the width of the animal's mouth.
That's way too close to Big Tasty.
Early English settlers in South Africa misinterpreted the whole wid for the word white.
What?
Pfft, English settlers.
Missed it by that much.
Black rhinos probably got their name from the dark wet mud that is in their wallows that made them appear black. Both species are essentially gray in color. Now when it comes to horns...
Next! No, not you! The wrong Miss Horn.
Black, white, and Sumatran rhinos have 2. Javan and greater one-horn rhinos have, you guessed it, 1 horn. Number 2, size. Now, white rhinos are the biggest species out there and can grow from 5.5 to over 6 feet tall at their shoulders. They are 12 to 13 feet long and can weigh more than 5,000 pounds, which is almost as much as one of those Land Rovers a person would use to roll along the Serengeti. Next in size is the Indian or greater one-horned rhino, which may actually stand taller than a white rhino, but it's just a little bit less massive, you know? Didn't pump that iron as much as the white rhino.
Gime? What's a gime?
Then comes the Javan rhino and the black rhino. And lastly, the Sumatran rhino is the smallest of its kind, with the largest individuals of the species barely reaching a ton in weight. Number 3, horns. Now, it is often mistakenly reported that a rhino's horn is made out of compressed hair.
It looks like hair.
Which is due to the fibrous appearance of the horn, particularly around the base.
It's just hair!
It's not just hair, look!
But rather than being made of hair, rhino horn grows in layers from specialized skin cells, which are keratinized. This causes these skin cells to become very hard.
Solid as a rock. Oh, sorry.
If you didn't know, keratin is what makes your nails hard. So just like a horse's hooves or a turtle's beak, a rhino's horn is made to be solid.
That's a big horse with a horn.
A rhino's horn is not attached to its skull. It continues to grow throughout the animal's lifetime, just like our own nails would, and can even grow back if trimmed. The longest horn on record belonged to a white rhino and measured just under 60 inches long. That's 5 feet. A 5-foot long horn. Hate to see one of those coming at me in a dark alley.
Alright, dirtbags. I'm here to clean up the streets. My name's Horn. Detective Horn.
Number 4, relatives. The closest living relatives to rhinos are tapirs, horses, and zebras. These animals are known as parasodactyls, or odd-toed ungulates, meaning they have an odd amount of toes or hoof-like appendages. Even-toed ungulates are called artiodactyls and include cattle, deer, antelopes, goats, sheep, pigs, camels, and everyone's favorite, llamas. But of course, rhinos are part of the odd toed ungulates, because they have an odd number of toes, meaning 3 on each foot. And in a way, their tracks kind of resemble the ace of clubs. Wait a minute, if a rhino is related to a horse, does that mean it's the original unicorn? Number 5, teeth. Okay, so I was a little off when I said that there was a rhino with fangs. Fangs come from the top of the mouth. The teeth we are talking about now are on the bottom of the mouth and would be considered tusks.
You just wanted a tusk?
But they are still very big and very sharp. When an Indian rhino defends itself against a predator or another rhino, it doesn't use its horn to gore its opponent. Instead, it slashes and gouges viciously with the long, sharp incisors and canine teeth on its lower jaw. Neither the black nor the white rhino have these incisors. Only the Indian and the Sumatran rhinos have canines. But that being said, all 5 species do have 3 premolars and 3 molars on each side of their upper and lower jaws. So they're not without their teeth. Still, I think a vampire rhino would be kind of scary. Number 6, poop. An adult rhino can produce as much as 50 pounds of poop a day. That is around 1,500 pounds of poop a month and 18,250 pounds of deuce a year. And it's all the result of rhinos having to consume large amounts of plant material to obtain proper nutrition. And not only do rhinos poop a lot, but white rhinos tend to poop in the same spot. Multiple or communal deposits of dung are known as middens. And biologists think that the reason rhinos return to the same communal spot to poo each day is because the scent from the dung of other rhinos provides them with important information. It can tell a rhino the age, sex, general health, and reproductive status of other nearby rhinos. Yeah, I'm going to stick next to the water cooler for my office gossip. And that's another animal to add to the file pile. Okay, so I know they're called tusks and not fangs, but Sci-Fi Channel, hear me out. Now, I know you can make movies like Octoshark, and you make Sharknado movies, giant crocodile movies. Try on Vampire Rhino. There's your next B flick right there. Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel, you're welcome. I mean, so guys, would you watch that movie? Or do you have an idea for a better B-rated movie? Let us know in the comments below. Seriously, I kind of want to hear the ideas. Make them as ridiculous as possible. If you like the show, smash that like button. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. And as always, thank you for watching. Reason rhinos return to the same communal spot to pew? What's pew? Apparently, rhinos go pew all the time. Yeah, where do you think people sit at church? If they didn't pew all over the place, we wouldn't have a place to sit in the chapel. No, we wouldn't. Okay, moving on.